What's going on, everyone? MetalBlade427 here, and I present to you my next LP, Mega Man Battle Network 2! Made by Capcom Production Studios 2, released in Japan in 2001 and then came to the States in 2002. This is obviously the second game in the Battle Network series, but was the first one that I actually played. Like many, I didn't really give this series a second look at the time, thinking to myself, oh man, this isn't Mega Man, it's way too different, and just kind of brush it off to the side. However, a friend of mine did end up picking up Battle Network 2, playing it, and showing me everything about it, so in the long run, I bought it, I played it, and fell in love with not only Battle Network 2, but the entire series itself. For those of you that don't know, this game is very different from your typical side-scrolling classic or X series of Mega Man, or even the platforming gameplay of Legends. Battle Network is an action RPG with tactical strategic aspects to it, focusing on various forms of customization. Things like how Mega Man looks, what special abilities he has, your battle chip folder, and how you particularly set up. There's a lot of things that you put into the game yourself. Battle Network 2 also made several upgrades and improvements over the first game, but I'm going to get into those as they appear during the LP. And speaking of which, yes, this is the introduction episode. There's going to be a lot to explain during this, so why don't we just get this party started. Ready? Here we go. New game, away. Sir, research on final stage, last. What took so long? Forgive me. Delays. Be punished. Sir, just get things started, will you? We will. Rule the world just like the World 3. Fool! Not like the World 3. Don't hour. Begin project. Sir. AC/DC School, Density, last day of school. Lan, you're on time today. If you got up early, you wouldn't have to run so much. Thanks, Mega Man. I feel so much better now. Now, you haven't forgotten what today is, right? Not likely. It's the last day of school. Vacation time. And report card time, too. No problem there. You sure? Hey, let's go make plans for vacation. Alright, so here we are, starting off the game in school on the last day of school before vacation. Yay! So, this young man in front of us, he is Lan Hikari, one of the game's main protagonists. He's an 11-year-old boy that comes from a strong lineage of scientists that helped shape the Battle Network universe. In Japanese, Hikari means light, so with his last name being Light, and his father and grandfather both being doctors, and his father being the one that made Mega Man in this game, you can see how this helps tie together the Battle Network universe with every other one that came before it, like classic series or anything like that. And speaking of the Blue Bomber, you can see his symbol in the upper left corner. We did end up talking to him a little bit. And here he is known as Megaman.exe. Of course, in Japan, he is Rockman.exe. In this game, rather than him being a robot, he's a computer AI, more specifically a network navigational program, aka a NetNavi, or just Navi for short. We'll be able to play as him a little later, but first, why don't we check out the classroom a little bit? We can walk around and talk to a few of our classmates, but honestly, they're only going to give us basic information about the game, if anything at all. I'll paraphrase a little bit. Boy up here by the posters was going to explain your PETs, or personal terminals is what it stands for. They're like a fusion between a tablet iPhone for this universe. Everyone has them, everyone uses them in almost every aspect of daily life, so we can all relate, because we all kind of do that anyway. They're good for, exchanging money, talking to people, sending emails, getting around on the net, things along that ways. Each PET has a Navi inside of it that's used to interact with other people, kind of like a very advanced version of Facebook or Twitter. So, that's pretty much that. The boy over here talks about finding battle chips all over the world, and a lot of them are hidden, so if we check this desk here, we get a paddle grab key, our very first battle chip. I'll be going over what battle chips are in a little bit, more specifically after class, because that's when we actually have some time to ourselves. And then this girl will talk about a few of the other functions and features of the PET, but more importantly, we got mail! Yay! Okay, there we go. Into the mail. Thank you. I don't know why I slowed down there for a bit. Viruses, which become scarce after World 3, are now on a rise again. Electronic devices infected by viruses may cause damage. So that's that. Anytime we get mail, it's going to pop up in our PET. We'll be able to read it. Gives us some type of hints, guide, general information about the world. The emails in this game are nowhere near as good as the ones in the first game, but that's okay. Don't really care. Now then, important characters introduction time. Up here we have Mail, the game's love interest for Lan, which is kind of funny because whenever she tries to like hit on him or make a move on him, it goes right over his head because he's an 11-year-old boy that only cares about eating and sleeping, not romantic relationships. She is also the operator of Roll.exe, and everybody knows who Roll is. Mega Man's friend, sidekick, sister, whatever, you know, depending on what universe you're in. Mail's Japanese name is Meru, and her NT Warrior's name is Melu. For those that don't know, NT Warriors is the American dub of the Japanese anime Rockman.exe series. While the Japanese anime is by far the superior show, I did recently watch the entire NT Warriors series, and it wasn't too bad near the end. And it went on for 3 seasons, so it had a lot of improvements as it went down the line. Straight through the typical Season 1, through Access, and stopped abruptly at Stream. So down here is Yai, AC/DC Town, little spoiled rich girl thingy, whatever. But she's still a good friend of Lan, you know, she still helps out and everything with all of her money and her connections. She's a funny character to watch because she's very, very full of herself and just things she says are just out of his world. Her net navi is Glide, and interesting enough, her and Glide are both based off of Mega Man Legends characters. Yai is based off of Yaito from Legends 2, who only appeared in the quiz house. Don't know why they used that character model for her, but I do like Yai in this game. As far as her net navi goes, Glide's counterpart first appeared in The Misadventures of Tron Bone and then again in Legends 2, both as a villain. Rather than being a bad guy here, he is her butler. Basically, there's no other word for it. He's a butler. He's more of a statistical type navi, able to like override codes and get various information and things like that. He does fight from time to time. We do want to talk to Yai really quickly. Come here. Yo, Yai. Why, if it isn't Lan, good morning. I suppose you want to hear about my collection, right? And actually, as much as we don't want to, we actually do. Well, I'm collecting Electopian fans. They're like little pieces of fan-shaped art, you see. A special privilege of the upper class, I suppose. Well, you probably wouldn't understand. We're just gonna go, what? Of course you don't. It's okay. They're mine anyway. You do that, Yai. Alright, good job. Lastly up here is Dex, the operator of the great Gutsman.exe. His Japanese name is Dakayo, and in the first game, he actually started off the entire series as a bully, but by the end of it had a huge attitude change and ended up being Lan's best friend. The two of them go everywhere, they net battle all the time, they challenge each other, mostly Lan wins, but hey, it's all good. Dex is a very funny character to watch. He usually gets the butt end of most of the jokes in the game. So, talking to him will actually cause our teacher, Miss Mari, to come in and begin the last day of school. Let's do that. Morning, Dex. Yo, Lan. Hey, let's do some net surfing after school, okay? I'll tell you about it later. Ah, teacher's coming. The teacher's here. Good morning, class. Are you excited about vacation yet? Woohoo! Do you all know what you're going to do? I'm going to my grandpa's place for my vacation. Something little for me. A round-the-world cruise, maybe. Well, it sounds like you all have wonderful plans. But, don't forget about your homework. Yes, Miss Mari. Now the moment you have been waiting for. Report cards! No! Ugh. Okay, class. Have a nice vacation, and be safe. Yes, Miss Mari. Yes, Miss Mari. Lan, Dex, is something wrong? Anything you want to share with me, Lan? Oh, poor Lan. At the end of a bad report card. Not a good thing to go home to. But Dex did ask us to talk to him, so why don't we do that? Hey, there you are. Now we can talk. You hear about the new square on the net? I hear they're looking for city net battlers there. I don't know what a city net battler is, but it sounds cool. I invited Mail and Yai too. We can all go together, yeah! The meeting place is on the net at the square entrance. Jack in and send Mega Man online when you get home, okay? Did you hear that, Lan? The square is like a city on the net for us net navies. You can shop and talk to other navies. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, that is something new that they actually added to the game. It's a section of the internet where you can run around free of viruses, and that's where you can also buy, you know, other upgrades and whatnot from Mega Man. But Yai will not be joining us because she's a little stuck up, and Mail will, so why don't we just go? here we are in our hometown, AC/DC, not the band, the path that which current path travels. The design here hasn't really changed at all from the first game. Even Higsby's shop is still the same. Unfortunately, if you go up and read the sign, something's written on it. Closed temporarily for personal reasons, huh? Yeah, because he likes to put the word huh at the end of everything he says. But otherwise, everything else is still here. You can run through the park, look at the creepy squirrel and the weird elephant slide. Everyone's houses are still the same. Here we have Dex's house. We can't go into them right now because everyone's still at school or on their way home. This is new. This is a bus stop. We'll be using that to go to like one specific location, but it's only going to happen once, and then we're going to be right back here to the good old metro line, jumping back and forth between different map areas for land. Generic house. Generic house. Land's house with mysterious guy standing... I get back here. With mysterious guy standing in front of it. I didn't want to go in, but I do want to talk to him. Hello there. I'm here from Dengos. You had a problem with a gas appliance there or something? Huh? Isn't that Miss Yai's house? We'll get right on it. Alright, you do that. Anywho, back to the tour. Here is Mail's house, all nice and pretty in pink. Next door to Land's, we have Generic House 1, Generic House 2 again, and of course, Miss Yai's house, the gigantic mansion up in the upper right corner. Alright, now we can go home. Oh, what does our mom have to say? Welcome home, Land. How was school? Fine, Mom. That's nice. What was I going to ask you? Indeed. Let's sneak away before she catches us. Lan! I know you've got it, so let's see it! Got what, Mom? Don't you what me? Your report card! That's what. Darn. I was hoping you'd forgotten. Okay. Well now, let's see. What? Lan! Uh-oh. Don't you uh-oh me, young man. Lan, maybe you should apologize. You're right. Mom, I'm sorry. Now can I go play on the net? Most certainly not. Homework first. Aww. You heard the boss. Homework first. Use the R button to jack into the PC. Oh, Lan! Busted! Thought you could get away without showing your mom your report card. But anyway, here we are in Land's room, which is where Battle Network 1 started, and we had to kind of work our way here. As you can see, compared to Battle Network 1, if you knew what that actually looked like, his room has changed a bit since then. His carpet got replaced by this generic blue sparkly carpet. And in Battle Network 1, there was a poster of Mega Man Legends 2. Now it's a picture of Duo from Mega Man 8 for the PlayStation 1. Awesome picture. Don't really know why they chose Duo to put up there, but hey, I'll go with it. So, before we go start our homework, we do have a few other bits of information to go over. Yeah, I know, it's boring stuff, I understand that, but it's the first episode, and I kind of want to get it out of the way now. So, why don't we open up our menu, and actually go through each one of these options bit by bit. First off, folder. Here's we have all of our battle chips. During a fight, Mega Man can perform various actions using these chips. Things like attack, special effects like area steals, healing, things along that way. Various effects, yada yada yada. First thing you may notice is right here we say folder 1 equipped and 2 spaces below it. In this game, we're actually able to acquire 2 more folders. Interesting thing about the folders is, even though each folder can be designed differently, you can't use the same chip for each folder. So if you have a powerful chip in folder 1, you can't use it for 2 or 3, etc. So now we go into here. Here we have all of our battle chips. You can arrange them by various means. I like doing it by code because it really helps with the whole rules and regulations set up for using battle chips in battle. Our default folder here is an alphabet soup folder, which, you know, I've seen alphabet soup folders before, which are pretty much high-powered chips of so many different letters, and if that's the way you want to play it, by all means, go right ahead. I myself like to minimize my letters as much as possible. Only one I really want to point out for the most part right now is the escape chips. In Battle Network 1, you could not purposely escape from battle. Here you can. You just hit the L button and you'll be able to flee. But it will sometimes fail. Escape chips have a higher chance of running away from battle. Of course, I'm just going to get rid of this. But the biggest change is this. No, not the attack plus 10. The asterisk or star code, or however you want to put it. Basically what that is, the game considers it a joker. I call it a wild. It can represent any letter at all. So if you're running S, you have SSS, you can start grabbing some of these and throw them behind them to increase its attack. You'll also find standard attack chips that are star code, like we will find a star sword chip at one point. Mind you, I said letter, so if you have Cannon A, Cannon B, you can't use these attack 10s because they're considered stars, and you can only use one letter or another. I'll explain more into that, when we actually get into tutorial of the battle, which should be shortly. Pushing right will open up your pack, which will show you where all your other battle chips are and present, and you just use them to swap in and out. Last thing I want to point out is all the way to the right, you'll notice something that shows like 16 MB, 2 MB, 8 MB. That is megabytes of memory that will be used for Mega Man later to preset a chip, and you can even do capacity and do it by, highest or lowest. That we'll get into when we actually have that. We don't have that ability right now. Sub-chips! New to this game are sub-chips. So, we can now hold on to various forms of sub-chips. These include mini-energy, large energies, unlockers, sneak runs, and lock enemies. Each of these do various things based on what their name is, obviously. In this game, Mega Man does not auto-heal between battles like he did in Mega Man Battle Network 1, so you would need mini-energies and large energies in order to actually replenish his health, or plenty of recovery chips. Right now, you can hold up to 4 You can hold up to 4 sub-chips, at any time, but the game will give you sub-memory upgrades, which means you'll be able to hold at least one more of each one as you go on. I think you can get up to 8 total in the game that you can hold, maybe 9, I'm not sure, but you're not going to really need that many, in my opinion. 5 is a great number to have, and you'll have 5 sooner than later. I would also recommend buying an unlocker as soon as possible, because we will need that. Library. The first game had a grand total of 175 chips. Here, it has grown to 250. Technically, there's 260, but those chips are only earned through net battles with a friend or Game Shark codes. I will not be doing that, so we'll see what I'm going to do about maybe showing them or not. I don't know. Mega and Giga Clash chips are also still absent from this game, but to prevent you from abusing certain chips, the maximum of any one type of chip you can put into your folder has went from 10 to 5. So in the first game, you can put 10 cannons in your folder. Didn't matter the letter, 10 cannons. Now you can only put in 5. Also introduced is the PA memo, a running log of what program advances you've unlocked. Program advances are specific combinations of chips that when fused together will form a powerful attack, and I'll be showing them off when they come about, and I will be using them a lot more than I did in the first one. I don't know why I went back all the way. Sorry, here we go. Mega Man! Our stats. Same yet different from the first game. We start off at level 1, 100 HP, 1 stat point on each of our Buster abilities. When we acquire an HP memory up, either by buying them or finding them in the field, Mega Man's HP will go up by 20 and his level by 1. Max HP is 1000. The Buster is enhanced through power-ups, again, either by buying or finding them. And when equipped onto Mega Man, his level will go up by 4. Armors are completely gone and replaced with a new form of power, which will be introduced several chapters from now. And the only other thing I say about this is I highly, highly recommend you raise charge first. It's really the only stat that has any effect over that new power-up system that we'll find later. And trust me, in this game, that's the truth. Email we already went over. Key items, specific items that are used throughout the story. They'll activate when certain conditions are met. You don't have no choice about it. They just happen. Network is where you go to battle your friends. That will not be happening. And, of course, save. Shows you your total running playtime, your data library, how many chips you have in that big library of yours, how many total battle chips you have, and how much Zenny we got. And they say credits, but it's Zenny. Okay, so that's out of the way. Why don't we go and jack in? And yes, in this LP, I will be saying jack in and jack out a lot. If you are laughing at those words, get it out of your system, or continue laughing at it as you hear it, your choice. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, enjoy your time of innocence. Jack in, Mega Man, execute! Lan, we're in the computer cyber world. Before we go out to play, I'll start the homework program. Wonder if everyone's trying to straight home. Well, I'll start today's homework program. We'll begin by reviewing basic virus busting techniques. Oh boy, here we go. The obligatory virus busting tutorial. The same tutorial that you get in every Battle Network game, and it even extended into the Star Force series. So if you've played one, you've pretty much seen them all. If not, well, here's lesson 1. I'm just going to get to the point where I can control it, and we'll go from there. Alright! To the left over here is the custom window. When it is opened, we get 5 random chips from our folders for you to use in a set round. This battle is preset. You're always going to get these same ones no matter what, but otherwise that they're just going to come randomly from whatever 30 you have in your folder. And of course, we're fighting 2 Maters. I'll talk about them later. Mega Man's HP is up at the top. Their HP is over their head. The enemy's HP is over their head. And now we get to choose what chips we want to take. Basically, there are rules you have to follow. You can either choose by type, or you can choose by letter. So in this case, we're going to take a cannon A. And then we're going to take the other cannon A. If we had a cannon B, we'd be able to take that. If we had a Recover 10A, we'd be able to take that. So, you know, chips that you can't select are grayed out, and we'll give you the... I don't know if you can hear that. But that's the you can't do that sound. Battles are pretty much broken up along that ways, and we hit OK and start the round. The field itself has 2 sides. We are on the left. It's a 3x3 square. We have the red side. The enemies have the blue. Mega Man can move freely in his square anywhere he wants, giving him the ability to dodge various attacks. And up top there, as the arrow is pointing, is the custom gauge. When that fills up, our custom window will be able to open up again, and chips we've taken will be replaced by any others that we have in our folder, and it just goes on from there. So as you can see, we can move around, hit the B to shoot a buster, very puny and pathetic, hit A to use the chips above our head, and win the battle. Good job. Now for the next problem. Lesson 2 introduces combos. The tutorial always starts off with the same combination, area grab plus wide sword. This also teaches about chip order. You want to select the area grab first and then the sword. The other way around would be pointless because we'd use the sword first and then we'd area grab, and thus we'd hit nothing. The area grab is used to expand our zone by 1 column, the closest one to Mega Man. If an enemy is standing in one of the columns that is being taken, then it'll do 10 damage to them and not take the square, or the panel, or whatever you want to call it. Wide sword will hit the space in front of Mega Man, space above, space below that. Nice and easy. So we hit OK. And there we go! Yes, we're going to take that first area right... Come on, come on, come on, now! Run forward, swing! And now we wait for the custom bar to build up again. Thing about also building up your buster, if you notice I'm shooting pretty slow, but the closer we are to a guy, the faster your buster will go. So just showing you another reason why rapid doesn't really work well, or a reason why rapid doesn't work well. Definitely do charge. Opening it back up, you'll notice that we have an area grab L and a wide sword L again. We actually don't have an area grab L in our folder, so you'll never actually get this again. But this is the only time these two will show up twice in a row. My guess is so we can easily just grab the next area, run forward, and in lesson 2. Good job. Now for the last problem. Lesson 3 explains the new add feature, or at least the updated add feature. In the last game, if you chose no chips for a round, you would then get a total of 10 for the next one. And then if you did it a third time, you would get 15. In this game, it's kind of reworked a little bit. Basically what you're doing is you're sacrificing chips in order to expand your total available chips that you can choose. As you can see, it only goes up to 10, but it does work a lot better. So we're going to take these 3 recover chips, and we're going to hit add. So again, like in the first game, we kind of have to run around and burn time, per se. It's much faster as opposed to being a lot further away. Alright, opening up, and as Ms. Marie says, ta-da! We have now permanently expanded our chip selection area by 3 for the remainder of this battle. As you can see, we can go up to 10, but this works because even though we sacrificed 3 chips, we now will be able to choose 8 chips from here on out, which is really good for pulling out program advances and things along that ways. Next thing I want to notice, I'm going to choose Cannon B here, and Cannon B here. If I choose Bomb B, A goes away. If I choose Cannon A, Bomb B goes away. So as you can see, the letter type combination is at play there. I'm just going to keep with the cannons, because we're going to go 1, 2, 3. You did extremely well, Lan, as usual. That's it for today. Come run the program again tomorrow. I think not. Done. Finally. Hey, new mail. Who's it from? It's from Dex. He wants me at the square right away. Whoops, I totally forgot. Then I'm off. If any viruses pop up, bust them good. And I shall. Yes, we got mail. It was already read, so we don't have to worry about any of it. But I think I'm going to stop right there, because we have finished the tutorials, which means in the next episode, we'll actually be able to run around the net and do stuff. Get off to the square, meet some people, see where this, journey leads us, and all that other good stuff. So, rate, comment, subscribe, as almost every YouTuber asked. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out the next one when I get it up. And generally stay and enjoy my Let's Play of Mega Man Battle Network 2. So, until next time, everybody. Later.